Hey guys, welcome to the Jawns of Basketball. I'm John Stewart, and I'm here with my co-host Alex Shamit. What's up, Alex?
What's up? I'm not doing much, There have been some great games recently that we can get into, and a lot of teams that are pretty interesting. We're
Very
going to be
true.
primarily focusing on teams today. So, what teams
Yeah.
are we focusing on?
Honestly, I don't have the script,
And I do, so I'm
if
going to
you,
say
if you
it.
wanna if you wanna go ahead and read those, that would be really nice.
So, the teams that we're going to focus on in the West are the Timberwolves, the Lakers. We're going to talk about the Spurs Thunder game, so we're going to get into those teams. And then the East, we're going to talk about the Pacers and the final three spots, whoever those are going to go to in the playoffs. So we're going to go over a bunch of teams that could get those.
The Eastern Conference playoffs.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
And then we're also going to maybe talk about the Justin Holiday, Michael Carter-Williams trades. Neither of them are too significant, but we can touch on them.
They're interesting at the very least.
Oh,
right?
for sure.
Exactly. So what was the first team?
So the first thing we're talking about is the Timberwolves, specifically with Tibbs getting fired.
Tibbs getting fired.
Yeah.
I guess my opinion on it is that I think they've just kind of understood that they are not going to ever get a better talent than Karl Anthony Towns.
Correct.
And they want to make sure that his ACLs don't pop by the age of 25.
Right.
So they're going to get a coach that understands how to rest players.
Right.
I'm imagining that's their thought process. Also, he's not a good coach, and they were paying him an obscene amount of money.
The only reason that they were getting him in the first place was for their defense,
And there's no evidence that it's gotten better.
No, the only
No
reason...
statistical evidence.
No, the only way it's gotten better was when Covington got there, but you can't say that that's Tibbs.
And obviously that's because of Covington.
Exactly, right.
Honestly.
And I mean, yeah,
I
you
guess
don't
don't do Dario Saric like that. He's an okay defender. He's average.
Sure, I guess.
He's average.
He's okay. As a Sixers fan,
He's okay.
he's
all
okay,
right.
I guess. But so I mean, they've also been doing pretty good since Tibbs got fired.
Mhm.
So Tibbs was fired right after they beat the Lakers, which in fairness is not that impressive because I mean
It's the Lakers without
It's
LeBron James.
the Lakers, right? And they've gone 2-1 since then. They had a close win against OKC, which Andrew Wiggins went off
That's a
for.
big one. That's a huge one.
Yeah, and Andrew Wiggins went off, so you have to wonder if it's had an effect on him.
That would be really cool to see if
Mhm.
if Wiggins, like, the reason why he's just like not good is because of Thibodeau.
Right, because I mean, if you
That would be crazy.
he started becoming disappointing like when Tibbs got there.
Did Tibbs not draft him?
No, Tibbs was hired. I believe it was the year before Jimmy Butler got there.
What?
Yes.
Oh, I'm so wrong.
Yeah.
I'm so wrong.
You might want to fact check that, but I'm pretty sure that's correct.
I'm sure you're right.
But so yeah, Wiggins had a good season the first year he got there, but then after that, that's when Tibbs tanked. I mean, that's when Wiggins tanked. So maybe Tibbs had an effect on that. They lost to Dallas, but
Was that at Dallas?
it was versus Dallas. So that means that
Wow.
it was wow. If we were actually talking before the podcast, interesting thing with Dallas, best home team in the league, worst away team,
It's really weird.
and they beat
really
them.
weird.
Dallas beat them while Dallas was away, so that is a bad loss. But it was only by 4.
Yeah.
And then the New Orleans Pelicans, they beat by 4.
Okay. All right.
So 3 close games so far, basically.
And yeah, those are all like good teams. Like, even though the New
Right.
Orleans record isn't fantastic.
Oh yeah,
I mean, it's still Anthony Davis and Drew Holiday and
Yeah.
Julius Randle. I mean,
agreed.
that's a team right there.
I think one thing that has to be accentuated too is like how good their young stars have done since he left. So obviously Wiggins had the
To be
40-point
fair,
game.
it's only 3 games. To be fair.
I'm just saying, well, both of them have popped off for a huge one, right? Because
Really?
Anthony Towns last night he had 27 and 27 versus the Pelicans.
God, he's fantastic.
So Wiggins and
That's crazy.
Yeah, Wiggins and Towns have both had a crazy game. Towns having another 30-point 4-block game in their loss to the Mavs.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
and not on more minutes too. So maybe, maybe Tibbs was running a system that limited them.
Or maybe it was just he was so cancerous that just like having him off the team, they just,
Yeah,
were so, I don't know, happy so he played better. I don't know.
I mean, especially with Towns and Wiggins, that was a big criticism, is that they didn't take it seriously enough. So maybe with a not diehard coach,
Yeah.
maybe they can have more fun with the game and do a little bit better.
Or I mean, I think maybe Minnesota was thinking, if we're not gonna have a somebody or a coach who is gonna make us better defensively, and that's the reason why we've hired them.
Mhm.
Maybe we get a coach who really runs an actual offense. Because let's be honest, Tibbs sets are terrible.
Oh yeah,
Maybe they're just gonna go all in on offense.
which is a good. Well, that's what the team is made for.
It really is. I mean,
mean-
when you have Karl Anthony Towns,
Yeah, right.
you should have a fantastic offense.
Right. You can't. I mean, trying to make Karl Anthony Towns a Karl Anthony Towns led team a defensive team probably was a misstep in the first place.
Well, to be fair to the Timberwolves, he was supposed to be a defender out of college.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That is weird. He's gotten better recently too.
He has gotten better.
He has gotten better.
He has gotten better.
In all credit to him. So, do you think the Timberwolves make the playoffs?
Fuck.
I'll give you. Go ahead.
Probably not. Because if San Antonio is
Ooh.
shooting up and LeBron's gonna be back from injury,
Right.
I don't think so. I would be surprised, but I mean I'm not gonna count them out. They're so close.
Their current situation, they are still the 11th seed, which is bad. They're 2 games out of the playoffs, though.
That's nothing.
Nothing, really. With this many games left. They're a game behind Utah and Sacramento, which I don't think Sacramento has a real chance.
They need to start doing bad as soon as possible.
I know.
I need De'Aaron Fox to get injured very badly.
Honestly,
It is better for them too.
I know.
Well, no, actually, it's not.
Not really.
They don't have their draft pick. Well, they get their second round. They get a higher second round.
Yeah, but they just need that dude. Like, Sacramento just doesn't have that dude.
No, they don't. Marvin Bagley is not that guy.
No.
De'Aaron Fox is not.
He is. He's close. Buddy Hield's really good too. But
they're not just. Yeah. I mean, they're not Kyrie Irving. They're not Joel Embiid. They're not Giannis.
They're not even Karl Anthony Towns.
They're not Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah. I mean, that is a discussion to whether Buddy Hield's better than Donovan Mitchell, which I was looking at because Utah is 1 game ahead of them. But I think that's for a different episode.
That's for a different episode.
Because that is an interesting conversation
that is really
to have.
interesting. Apparently, Donovan's been picking it up.
To be honest, I'm a big Donovan Mitchell hater, so.
I'm a Utah hater.
Yeah, they have been on a 7-3 10-game streak though, so they're.
They do this every year.
I know.
It pisses me off so much.
I know, man. I know.
They should not be this good. Or be good. They should not be in the playoffs or pushing for a playoff spot in the West.
No,
everything that I know about basketball should not let that happen.
Yeah, basically everything you know about basketball is against Rudy Gobert, who, by the way, is having the highest field goal percentage in the league.
No, it's against who do they play at power forward?
Derek Favors. Yeah,
it's against Derek Favors.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's everything that I know against. That's everything I hate about basketball is Derek Favors.
He is a center, and he's playing power forward, which is really ass.
It's gross.
So now that we've talked about the Kings, Jazz, and Timberwolves, we can talk about the team that's 1 spot ahead of them currently in the standings, and that is the Lakers, which have an interesting situation.
They really do. I don't want to seem like I'm freaking the fuck out.
Right.
But I think that Brandon Ingram is pretty much gone. I just don't see his play style fitting with LeBron in the slightest. I don't know what they trade him for because I don't think that they want to just trade it 1-for-1 for a star because they could do that. They could trade Brandon Ingram for Bradley Beal and just absorb their cap, but I don't think that they want to limit their cap.
They would have to.
I mean, I'm not saying that they're going to trade for Bradley Beal. I just use that as a...
Right. No, I know what you mean. I could see that, but I do agree with you. There's definitely potential because I think everybody knows that they're going to get some big name free.
I think it would be stupid to make a Brandon Ingram trade right now. I think it would be idiotic.
Right.
I think one thing that they could do that is kind of interesting is that they could trade Brandon Ingram for picks.
Okay.
For a pick in this draft. Maybe they go after someone like Jarrett Culver.
Could see it.
Maybe they go after... Because I don't think... I'm just trying...
One thing I think makes sense is them trading for another young player that fits their scheme better.
Lauri Markkanen?
Or like a big of some sort, like a young big. Because the whole point of LeBron coming to LA was that he wanted the young players to take over, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you trade a young player for another young player that fits better, maybe that would be a better option than ruining all your cap space. Because they're going to get a free agent for no value.
So, yeah, why wouldn't you go ahead and do that? Exactly.
Right.
But, I'm just trying to think of it. Who is a young player that would fit better than Brandon Ingram, who's, readily available?
I wish the Heat could give them Bam and, something. Bam and something else. You know? Because the Heat...
I don't think. I would not make that. I think that Ingram has so much more trade value.
Oh, no, for sure. I'm saying, if only they... I was saying, I wish they had something else to give them.
Winslow.
Nah, because Winslow is basically like Ingram. Winslow is now starting to need the ball a little bit more. A bigger player.
Not a good shooter.
Not a great shooter.
Etc. And that would sacrifice their cap space problem.
Right.
I think that picks is probably the most realistic. I mean, because if you can get... I mean, there's even a conversation that you could have that you throw in Lonzo to that, and you throw in Lonzo, Ingram, and you try to move into, the top 5.
It's almost like all the players we said weren't going to fit before the season aren't fitting.
Yeah. Well, I think Lonzo fits a lot better than Brandon Ingram.
Well, yeah, but that's not saying much.
I don't know. I would be hesitant to trade Lonzo.
Me too.
Yeah,
'Cause
I would not want to.
Honestly,
trade
he
Lonzo.
could be really good somewhere else, and they could look like poo-poo stupid heads.
I'm not even that. I think he could. I think he could be fantastic in Los Angeles with LeBron James.
He could be. The passing could be insane.
It could be incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, I love watching them play at the very least. They play fast.
Oh, for sure.
And it's effective as fuck.
Mm-hmm. He's definitely one of the best, like, give up a good shot for a better shot kind of players.
Mm-hmm. And when you have LeBron James and you have whoever the fuck this max free agent is that they're gonna get, and they have you have Kyle Kuzma on your team, that's exactly the player that you need. Exactly. And he's a fantastic defender.
He is. He's really good. I feel like he's underrated on that side.
Yeah, he is. He is. People like to hate on him, and they just don't like to see the other.
Yeah.
I mean, the other facets of his game besides shooting.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I feel like everybody was waiting to jump on him before the season started. Like, everybody thought he wasn't going to fit, and the second that he didn't score, like, 20 points a game, everybody's like, oh, he sucks, you know? You should get rid of him. But I think he's an okay fit for that team.
Is there any prospect that you think, like, Laker Nation would, or that you think would fit with the Lakers well?
I mean...
Like the big three, obviously. The three Duke guys.
Oh, yeah. Can you imagine LeBron and Zion on the same team? That's just, like... I don't even fucking know. Like,
I mean, they could, like... They could make that happen.
They could. It's just like
I mean, if you trade the Phoenix Suns, Kyle Kuzma, Brandon Ingram, and your picks in the next two draft,
and Lonzo.
I don't think you have to throw Lonzo into that trade.
Honestly, Lonzo would be perfect with Devin Booker.
Oh, he would, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to give up your young core and your future, and you just want to
Zion it up.
Zion and max free agent. I mean, as ridiculous as that sounds.
It's more like a Cancer 2K rebuild than like
it really does seem like a Cancer. But I mean, I guess what the point that I'm trying to get at is that they have unlimited options.
Oh, yeah, for sure. They have so many assets.
Do you have any, what do you think is going to happen with Brandon Ingram if you had to bet?
I think it really depends on how successful they are this year. I think, because, like, the thing that we don't account for...
Postseason success, you mean?
Or just, like, if they can figure it out for the rest of the season. Because I think the thing that we can't account for is, like, opinions change so fast this season, right? At this time last season, we would be like, oh, man, Jazz got to blow it up. But then the postseason hits, and we're like, oh, Jazz, they made a run in the second round. Donovan Mitchell's a superstar. And your entire opinion on the team changes, I think.
And now our opinion has changed back.
Yeah, exactly.
Funnily enough.
So I think that you have to see what happens at the end. If Brandon Ingram can sort of figure it out with LeBron, they're going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I think the only way he gets traded is that it's as bad as it is right now, or it doesn't, or worse. I think if he gets any better, then they keep him, because I think they want to keep him. I don't think they want.
I have no idea what his ceiling is.
Oh, me neither.
I have no clue.
I don't think anybody does.
Like I don't think it's like this quasi. I don't think it's a quasi Kevin Durant.
No.
I think he's a completely different player.
Yeah,
I think
he's skinny. That's the only thing.
That's the only thing. I don't think he is ever going to be a 3-point threat. I mean, obviously, don't leave him open, but he's not going to be this to the same extent that Kevin Durant is.
No.
I think he's going to get the majority of his points on mismatches, and I think his ability to pass over people because of his height and wingspan is going to help him a lot, and I think he could be a legitimate playmaker.
I think he's going to be relying on his length a lot. I think that's going to be it.
And I mean, as back to the playmaker thing, the Lakers don't need another playmaker. No. With Lonzo and LeBron, you don't need 3 playmakers on the floor in crunch time. It would be cool if he could shoot. It would be really cool, but because he can't shoot, I mean, it just is dumb, as crazy as it sounds. It makes more sense to play Josh Hart in crunch time.
Oh, for sure. They're better served using other players.
Yeah.
I think that, like, he has a lot of skill sets, but they don't match. It's like what we've been saying all the entire time. They just don't match well.
Something kind of cool if he could play like 6-man. That would be pretty cool.
That would be cool.
That would be really cool.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe he scores 20 points a game off the bench, 18, 20 points a game, gets 7 assists. He can't play in crunch time. With the current construction of this roster, if you were going to play Lonzo, which you should, he can't really play in crunch time. There'd just be too many people who need the ball and not enough shooting. Right.
It would be Kuzma, LeBron, I guess Lonzo, Hart, and whatever big man you want. I'd say JaVale.
Yeah, probably JaVale.
Yeah. Question: who do you think would be like an ideal big man for the Lakers?
Al Horford.
Well, he's the ideal big man for every team, I guess, isn't he? That's where my mind went too.
Mhm, yeah.
And then I was like, yeah, for every team. Which would be.
Dwayne Dedman would be really cool because
He
he
would
can
be.
shoot pretty well.
He would be. I just don't get why no one cares about him.
I don't either. I
Is it because he went undrafted?
I think it's just because people don't know about him, like mainstream fans. A lot of them don't.
Yeah.
But I'm really surprised that he hasn't, like, there's been no trade talk about him.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense. Like, every team needs a big man who can set really good screens,
Yeah.
roll to the rim, and then also pop and hit threes and mid-range jumpers.
Yeah.
Like, that's exactly what you want in your big man.
I feel like we're like watching a movie and it's like a continuity error.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
the directors of the movie just forgot about him.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like the entire league just forgot that like
Also,
the guy that they want exists.
why has Atlanta not bought him out? It makes no sense for him to be on that roster.
Or like just something. Like
It's illogical. He's making you, like, even if it's 1 or 2 games, if you have a chance to get Zion Williamson, get that motherfucker off your team. You know what I mean?
yeah, exactly. He's averaging 10 points a game and like the best rebounding of his career. He's averaging 8 rebounds, 10 points a game in 25 minutes.
What are your shooting splits?
All right, so this is where it gets interesting, right? So 46.7% from the field, which is not great.
It's fine.
It's fine. For a center, it's not great, though.
I'm sure he's taking a lot of mid-range and threes, which are going to put that down. Not a lot,
Right.
but a considerable amount.
Yeah, 36% from 3, which is good.
That's unreal for a center.
For center,
Do
it's
you know
really
how
good.
much? Do you know how much that would help the Lakers' offense?
A ton.
A ton.
A ton. But
ton.
here's the thing that I thought was interesting. 85% from the free throw line.
Wow.
85%.
Wow. Imagine he just turns into JJ Redick, but 7 feet tall.
You mean Brook Lopez?
Same thing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and I feel like the thing is that like people didn't even know that he was a shooter at first. Like, when people first started realizing how good he was, it was because of his defense and rim protection.
Yeah, it was a defense in San Antonio. He didn't
Right.
start shooting threes until last year in Atlanta, I don't think.
Exactly. I mean, like I think it was still in San Antonio last year.
Hmm.
Was he in Atlanta last year? Either way, it was last year. I get your point, but like
Maybe, I'm not sure.
no, I do see what you mean. But like, yeah, exactly. He was originally known for his defense. So if you have like a switchable, like
Mm-hmm.
athletic defender that can shoot, and he's 7 feet tall,
Yeah, I don't know either.
does not make any sense. But,
Ooh,
so
I thought of something.
go ahead.
What about a Dwayne Dedman and Kevin Herter for Brandon Ingram?
No, fuck no. I would never do that.
Yeah, I wouldn't either, but it's kind of
Yeah.
interesting at the very least.
It's interesting, but I would never do that.
Dude, Kevin Herter's good as fuck.
Kevin Herter.
He's really good.
Don't get me wrong. Like I love Kevin Herter as much as the next guy, but he's averaging like 9 points a game. Like,
Yeah, I mean, but he's gonna be like he's gonna be a fucking amazing player, especially for somebody to play next to like LeBron.
I'm gonna be honest, man. I don't know. Like he could be.
You don't think I think he's gonna be unreal.
He reeks of Luke Kennard for me. He reeks.
I don't think so. I think he has more bounce. When I watch him, this is gonna sound really weird, but his hips seem a lot more athletic than Luke Kennard's. Like it looks like he can really. I'm not gonna obviously right now he can't, but I feel like he could get around a screen and then take someone off the dribble and really run the pick and roll, not to a great level, but to an okay level.
He could. Honestly, I'm not saying he couldn't. I'm just saying like he's definitely. I wouldn't. I'm not on the boat with him yet.
Mhm.
I'm like I'm like he could be okay. I wouldn't count on it though. You know what I mean?
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So, final question about the Lakers: are they making the playoffs?
Of course. Of course.
Dude, with how competitive the West is?
Of course. They're going to make like LeBron James is not missing the playoffs. We saw how good that team was when everybody was healthy. They are not missing the playoffs.
It might not be up to LeBron James, though. I've heard reports saying that he could be out for a few more weeks. I mean,
Wow.
he's out for a few more weeks. They've got 3 teams that are within 2 games of him. Dallas is 2.5. I mean,
I still think they're going to be fine. If I had to bet on it right now, I would take the Lakers in the playoff. I'd bet a considerable amount of money. I'd bet upwards of like, I think I'd bet $100 on that.
really?
Yeah, I think I would. We're also broke college students.
I would
so
not bet $100. I would have bet $100 on the Bucks getting 50 wins, but
I don't know why
this one, man.
we would have been.
We should have, man.
I
I know.
I know.
But anyway, we originally were gonna bet $50 that the Bucks were gonna be
$50
50
each.
wins team. Yep. But anyway, I don't know, man, because I'm not as confident in this one because, I mean,
Dude, I mean, when it comes down to it, I legitimately think that if LeBron James wanted to, in like let's say the final 10 games of the season,
right?
he's gonna win 8 of those by himself. I have no problem saying that.
Yeah, you're probably right. It also depends on who they play later in the season,
Mhm.
but I could definitely see that.
Mhm.
All right, so now we're gonna skip some of the boring teams.
Fair enough.
Actually, now we're not because the San Antonio Spurs lost recently.
The most boring team in the NBA.
The San Antonio Spurs?
The most boring team in the NBA.
The Spurs are.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Mid-range jumpers galore.
I think mid-range jumpers are fun to watch sometimes.
I don't.
So, okay.
Mid-range jumpers and Pau Gasol are not my type.
Well, it's Pau Gasol, yeah.
Not the most interesting.
That's fair. So they played the Thunder recently. I don't know if you know that.
I do know that.
They did, and
They played them twice.
Yes, and one of them I don't really care about, but the first one was a very good game.
Very good game.
Then the double overtime.
LaMarcus Aldridge dropped 50-something, 54, 52.
56.
56.
Yep. Russ had 24.
24 and 12?
Yeah.
Or some, I don't know.
It was 24, 24, and 13.
Or something. Whatever.
And he had 3 turnovers on 24 assists, which
that's incredible.
absolutely blows my mind.
That's incredible.
So, what do you think a game like this means for... Let's start with San Antonio. What do you think it means for San Antonio? Do you think that means that they can hang with them?
For San Antonio, I think it's huge.
Really?
Because I think this is a different San Antonio than the team at the beginning of the year.
For sure.
And I think that if San Antonio, well, I mean, for the people who don't know, San Antonio's gone on a winning streak. Or not a winning streak, but a hot streak.
Yeah.
And if this new, what it looks like the real San Antonio is when everybody's climatized into the offense.
Right.
If this is who they are, if they can hang with the Thunder and beat the Thunder, who's to say they can't be the 4th seed?
I mean,
you know what I mean?
In the West, yeah.
I think that's really cool to see.
Bless me.
I mean, really good to see for the Spurs. But I think for the Thunder, it's very worrying that when Russell Westbrook, somebody who is not having a good year, has the best game of their year, and you can't beat who's going to be your rivals in the postseason.
Right.
That's really worrying.
I don't think it's worrying for me. Here's why. What was one of the things about the San Antonio Spurs coming into the year? They were really bad at something, on offense specifically.
3-point shooting.
Right. So have you seen the stat from that game?
No.
The Spurs...
they hit the first 16. That's also an anomaly. That's a crazy anomaly.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I get what you're saying. Okay.
Yes, that's not going to happen every game.
You're
The Thunder were able to take that team into overtime when they hit their first 14 threes.
That is incredible.
Which for me, that's an incredible achievement.
I didn't think about that. You're 100% right.
I think that the Thunder being able to stay in, I don't know how they would. I mean, if you score 3 every time you shoot, how did the other team even keep up?
I mean, that's what's 3 times 14. That's 28. 30.
That would be 42, I believe.
That's 42 free points.
Yeah.
Was it in the first quarter too?
I don't know if it was the first quarter. I just know that
I think a large amount of the threes were in the first.
I think a lot of them were. But either way, I think that the fact that the Thunder were able to keep up with that team, especially because they have more of a defensive identity. So the fact that they were able to keep their guns up and score with that team is very exciting for Thunder.
And I feel like somebody would go ahead on Reddit and would say, "Oh, look, the Thunder's defense isn't that good." Dude, if you're hitting 14 threes in a row, there's nothing that you can do on defense.
If you saw the threes, it was literally
I saw one where Bellinelli was if you're looking at the basket, he was in the right corner, like at the baseline, and he just hit like a fading out of bounds, like the shot against the Celtics.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, that's Bellinelli. He does that a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the Thunder were playing great defense. They were just making shots, and the Thunder kept with them. I think this is truly one of the only games I've seen so far this year where both teams come out looking way better than they did coming in to me.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because LA has still got it. I think people really are underrating how good LA has been, how old he is.
Marcus Aldridge.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's averaging 21 and 10. He's 33 or 34.
He's just that, even though he puts up good stats, is he a good player paradox?
Well, he is.
We've been having that discussion for the last 4 years with Russ.
Yeah, but he's also a good defender. People really underrate.
I don't think he's a good defender. I think he's an average defender.
At least for the past couple of seasons, his opponent field goal percentage at the rim has been under 50%.
You did tell me that.
Which
very cool.
is very impressive for a big man, primarily a big man who plays a lot of center.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
He's I don't know how he's transformed his game at the age of 33, but Popovich just works magic with old players. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he has Pau Gasol protecting the rim at a semi-okay rate.
I think
which is incredible.
I think that he's just so old that he just knows how old people work.
He just has a thing in his brain where he can just he just gets old people.
Yeah, he just gets old people. Another underrated player on that team. There are so many, but
on the Spurs.
Yeah, 2 that I really want to focus on. The first one is Davis Bertans.
He's such a good defender.
He's a great defender.
I love him.
He's shooting 47% from 3 this year.
What are his attempts?
I can pull up his attempts, but he is okay. Honestly, Bertans might be having the most low-key fantastic shooting season that I've ever seen. So
Hmm.
his full shooting splits.
Even if he's not shooting many threes a game, I mean, if you're shooting at 50%, that's incredible.
Are you ready for this? So
Uh-huh.
so it's 49% from the field and 89% from the free throw line. He's a true shooting percentage of 68%, almost 70
Wow,
in 20 minutes
that's
a game.
crazy. That's insane.
Nobody understands. I feel like no one's been
That's
talking
insane.
about how he started.
He's
played all
almost
40 games.
50, 50, 90.
Yeah, which is has that ever been done? I don't think it's been done. I don't think it's ever been done.
50, 50, 90?
I don't believe 50-59 has ever been done.
I would be very surprised if 50, 50, 90 has ever happened.
Exactly. And he's playing 20 minutes a game, and he's played every game. He is playing a significant amount of time and averaging those shooting splits.
Mhm.
Also, Brandon Forbes has really stepped up for this team. I mean,
Is he the point guard?
he is the fifth string point guard or
The
whatever.
dude who they just got, not even from the G League, they just found some dude at the local YMCA and just grabbed him.
Now, Greg Popovich works magic, bro. He's
Mhm.
12.5 points a game in 29 minutes, which is impressive. But this dude's also shooting 43% from three, 87% from the free throw line, and 46% from the field. His true shooting is almost at 60 as well.
That's crazy.
Like, how I don't
That's
understand.
insane.
I just
I
don't
don't know.
understand how Greg Popovich can
I
just
don't either.
make anybody
I
a
don't
great
know.
player.
I don't know. Brad Stevens does the same thing,
He does.
and I don't get it either.
Also, Davis Bertans, so we were like, oh, maybe he's not taking that. He's taking 4 attempts a game.
Jesus Christ,
47% three-point shooting on 4 attempts a game.
that's incredible.
Davis Bertans has honestly been a revelation.
I mean, like, I would just put him in the corner. Jesus,
they do
just,
a lot.
Just let him sit there. Like,
They
I
do.
mean, especially with DeMar DeRozan and LaMarcus Aldridge, I would be playing him more than 20 minutes a game.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I think what people don't realize is like he's doing this all. He's a 6'10" power forward center hybrid.
And he's a good defender.
He's a good defending 6'10" power forward. He's shooting 47% from three on 4 attempts. Like,
Yeah, I
he
had
has
no
been-
idea about that.
He has been amazing this
Mhm.
year. I mean, honestly, yeah, I don't know why more people aren't talking about him. I guess because he doesn't average that many points.
And he doesn't do flashy dunks.
No, yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
very true.
He's a white player.
Yeah.
And then on the Thunder, I think that's enough for the Spurs. They're making the playoffs. Right?
Mhm.
I think we could, yeah,
What, you think the Spurs? I don't. Yeah, you're right.
because their defense has gotten better.
I mean, anything can happen, you know.
You think that? So you think the Spurs are making it?
Probably.
All
There's a very good chance.
Thunder are obviously making it. And to be honest, the Thunder have still just kind of been the Thunder recently.
Dude, just trade shooting, bite the bullet, and give up your second round pick and get somebody.
yeah,
I don't
that's
care.
pretty
I
much
don't
it.
care who you get.
That's pretty much it.
You guys would legitimately. This team would be phenomenal.
I know.
Like if they had 3-point shooting, they're the best team in the league. Not like better than the Warriors. I mean record wise.
Yeah,
But of
honestly,
course
could be.
they are. Of course they are. If Paul George is gonna play like
Yeah.
he has been this year, and you have consistent 3-point shooting besides him,
Also, it's time somebody banned Terrence Ferguson to the Shadow Realm. He's ass.
yeah, he's not good.
So bad.
He's very bad.
He's just so bad.
He's very bad.
He's just.
He should be in the G League right now.
I know, man.
And if he is in the G League, I mean, it's good for him. You know, he's gonna get
Yeah.
the same. He's gonna get the same amount of money.
I mean, yeah.
You know,
It's-
let the dude get better at basketball before you make him play.
It's not his fault that
No,
they're like
it's
making
not.
him play.
No,
Like,
It's Billy Donovan.
oh yeah, he's ass.
Yeah, Billy Donovan's an idiot.
That's one of the biggest what ifs ever. Is like if they actually had a real coach
Seriously, yeah.
for like a lot of the time.
Seriously.
There. But
I mean, it's like even their general manager. What's his name?
oh fuck me. I don't.
It sounds like Maury, but it's not Maury.
No, it's not. That's gonna haunt me. But continue. Whatever his name is.
It usually is really, 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 really good.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, apart from
The Carmelo Anthony thing. I would assume.
yeah, but even he reversed that out and got
Sam
Dennis
Presti.
Schroeder. Sam Presti. I don't know why did I say he sounded like the more
Maury Presti.
yeah, same.
One letter similar.
Yeah,
But I know what you mean. He is usually really good.
I mean, like, dude, fucking outbid the Jazz. Give them 2 second round picks. Give them your first.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I probably wouldn't give a first for Kyle Korver actually because his contract is actually kind of long. But
Yeah.
like, is J.R. Smith gotten bought out yet?
No.
Nick Young
Yeah.
does not have a team. He got
people,
bought out.
People
He got
hate
bought
Nick
out.
Young.
It's stupid.
I mean,
He's an unreal shooter, dude.
I guess there must be something though, because the teams just don't like him. Teams just don't take
Why?
him.
Like, why did Denver cut him? I just don't understand.
I don't know. Why didn't like? It's
It
not
just
like
doesn't make sense to me.
maybe they need roster spot. They might just need roster spots because so many people are hurt. That, You know what I mean? Because they have to have people playing even with all the amount of people they have hurt.
Denver. Just remind me, when does Isaiah Thomas come back?
No idea. It said he got delayed. He might not even play for a while.
Like this year?
Nah, probably he'll probably play this year at some point, but I don't know if he'll be 100% this year at any point.
Is he going to be out of the league soon?
I think that should. I bet we put that in the next episode if he still doesn't come back.
Okay.
Because I don't know.
I mean,
Also,
that's just I don't. He should not be out of the league.
no.
There's no way, right?
I hope he doesn't.
Okay. Yeah, I don't either.
You guys, that's on your hands. That's on the Celtics' hands, bro.
It absolutely.
They did him dirty.
Yeah, they really did.
Um,
Hey, but we got Kyrie. Am I right?
well, speaking of teams like the Celtics, one team that is better than the Celtics right now is the Indiana Pacers.
Record-wise, yes.
Same record as the Golden State Warriors.
That's crazy.
Third in the East. Better
That's
than the
insane.
Sixers. Better than the Celtics.
I think we're both. I think we have a unanimous opinion that they're going to lose first round.
I don't know, man.
They are so easy to guard. They are the easiest defensive assignment, probably, like for the top 5 teams in the East at least. They're the easiest defensive assignment by miles. All you have to do is just, let's say it's Boston.
Okay.
You have Victor Oladipo. You just start Marcus Smart. It's the best. You can't stop Victor Oladipo, but Marcus Smart's gonna do the best you can.
Right.
You're gonna let Miles Turner take every mid-range jump shot he wants to.
Why? He's good at them.
Yeah, I know. Let him take them. I'd be fine. I mean, it's almost mathematically impossible to beat the Celtics or to beat any good, well-structured team while taking a considerable amount of mid-range jumpers, which is fucked because the Pacers take the most mid-range jump shots in the league, second most behind the Spurs, I think.
Right.
But it doesn't make sense. But I'm hoping that once whoever plays them in the playoffs, it's probably the Celtics.
Right.
And at one point, the Celtics will probably play them in the playoffs. I'd be very surprised if that matchup didn't happen.
I can see it happening for sure.
I mean, because I would be very surprised if the Sixers didn't pass the Pacers later on in the season.
Yeah, for sure. Once we start showing.
But regardless, back to the defensive assignment. You just put like Jaylen Brown on Bogdanovich and just have him chase him around.
Yeah.
Like it's there's nothing they can do. They have no source of offense. They don't have any spacing. Like Doug
They have spacing.
No, they don't. They do not have considerable spacing.
They do. They have Bogdanovich, Oladipo, Collison can shoot.
Collison, I mean, if you're going to make Darren Collison play considerable amount of minutes, like 30 minutes in the playoffs.
What's wrong with Darren Collison? I like Darren Collison.
Well, you can't have Darren Collison guard Kyrie Irving. I mean, that is just like, and what are you going to do? You're going to put him on Jaylen Brown or Marcus Smart? That's a free bucket every single time.
That's a post-up waiting to happen, admittedly. Yeah. But, I mean...
Like, who are you going to play? Doug McDermott?
Okay, fine. But a lot of the defensive struggles that they could have are completely... They're actually one of the best defensive teams in the league. I believe they're second best in defensive rating.
Yeah, Indiana's a really good defensive team.
Yes, because a lot of the players like Darren Collison get bailed out by Miles Turner and his rim protection.
Mm-hmm.
And
Domantas Sabonis is a good rim protector too.
Yes, they're both very good. A lot of their weaker perimeter defenders do kind of get bailed out because a lot of the time you're right because they're small. A lot of their perimeter players are small.
They're really small.
So if
small or unathletic.
Right. So generally the best idea would be we could post them up, maybe get somebody in the low block. But the problem is since their big men are such good rim protectors, and especially in Miles Turner's case, is really athletic, that he can be able to provide help and still get back to his man in the same play, which covers for that.
I think if you have it spaced out far enough, like if you have the Celtics lineup of death,
right,
plus Marcus Smart minus Gordon Hayward,
right,
and I mean, if Al Horford's sitting in the corner, you just can't do that. Like Miles Turner is just, I mean, if somebody's in mid range, cool. If somebody's close to the basket, cool. But Miles Turner's not going to be able to make that play against the Celtics.
No way. I agree
not
with
against
that.
the Raptors. Not against the Bucks. Well, I guess the Raptors don't actually have that many good shooters.
Yeah, I was about to say with the Raptors, maybe not. With the Bucks, absolutely.
Absolutely not. There's no way you can make that. No way you can make that play.
Yeah, agreed. So you think that right now they're kind of like a mirage, right? Like
I think they're an anomaly that I don't understand.
Right.
Because every other trend in basketball would indicate that they would be one of the worst teams in the league based on how many shots they take in each area.
Well, you do have to remember that offense, I mean, as much as people don't like to admit it, is only one half of the game. I mean, Here's the thing.
Oh yeah. They're a fantastic defensive team.
Well, yeah, no, because like everything that you're saying that their offense is correct.
Yeah.
They are scoring less points a game than the Brooklyn Nets, Charlotte Hornets. They're scoring less points than the Washington Wizards, the Atlanta Hawks.
To be fair, they also play at a very slow pace.
They do. That's fair. That is absolutely fair. You're right, which helps their defense. But it's not like their offense is a juggernaut. It's definitely they're winning on the strength of their defense, and they're winning with Oladipo out, which I think is more interesting.
They are.
I mean, I think Nate McMillan's just really grown as a head coach too.
Yeah, Nate McMillan's a good head coach. I really like Nate McMillan.
When he came in,
I've always liked Nate McMillan.
Really?
People always hated on him, like when he was first hired.
Yeah,
people like Wabash, where I'm from, were hating on him. I was like, why are you? I didn't think he was that bad. And, like, I didn't really know who he was, but you know.
I mean, I didn't know who he was either. I knew he was a player, but like, boy, I guess I didn't know. But like, also if Tyreek Evans can get better, that would be sick. If Tyreek Evans could be the X factor for this team, if he starts to like figure his shit out.
I don't think Tyreek will.
I don't think it will either. But if he can figure his shit out, then this team would go to a whole new level, I think.
Yeah, I mean, just to have like another ball handler who can really score off the bench.
Oh yeah, for sure.
At least he's shooting threes.
At least it's just he's shooting so bad from at the rim. Like why? Yeah. How do you get so much worse at that? That's like that was your thing for like so long.
Maybe you just forgot to practice that. Maybe he was just so focused on 3-pointers he just completely forgot.
Honestly, a lot of the league is probably like that now. Like in fairness.
Yeah.
So Indiana, what do you think? What seed do you think they're going to be at?
Probably 3 or 4. If Boston picks it up, maybe 5. Just based off Boston, Philadelphia, Toronto, Milwaukee.
Yeah.
I would be shocked if they won a playoff series.
I would be pleasantly surprised because I like.
I'm not trying to say that they can't.
Right.
That's just stupid. They've been defying odds all season. There's no reason why they. I mean, there are reasons why they can't, but it is possible.
Correct.
I'm not going to say that it's not. I would just be surprised.
I would be surprised as well. So now we're going to talk about. Let's say they were in the 3rd seed. Who are they going to play? There are really 5 teams that we're pretty sure are going to make the playoffs in the East.
Boston up.
What?
Boston up. From Boston and up.
Oh, yeah. Boston, Philadelphia, Indiana, Milwaukee, and Toronto. The next after that's kind of a crapshoot. The one team that's starting to pull away a little bit is the Miami Heat at 21-20. They're about 2 games ahead of the next team.
I think, looking at the thing right now, I think Miami and Brooklyn.
Miami and Brooklyn are going to be the 6th and 7th seed?
I think, they will definitely be in it.
Okay.
As far as Charlotte, Detroit, Orlando, Washington, they're the other 4 who really are.
Do you think Atlanta has any chance?
No.
Me neither. Okay, good.
No, not at all.
So who are you thinking again?
Washington, Orlando, Detroit, Charlotte. Like, out of them, whoever.
Who do you think?
I have no idea. I would imagine Charlotte, because I think their roster is probably the best out of all those teams.
Other than Washington, I guess, because Washington's roster...
Well, Washington's good on paper, but they just don't win. And that's really fucking weird. And John Wall went down, so...
I mean, but the whole they do not win argument, I mean, they have won. They've won every other year. I mean, not won, but they've won enough to get in the playoffs every year.
I'm saying that they aren't winning this year. That's my argument.
Right.
They have, like, Dwight Howard. And they have a pretty cancerous locker room, let's be real.
They do. But it's kind of interesting because, like, ever since their awful start, they've been an okay team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, right? You're thinking, do you remember what they started the season at?
It was really bad. It was like something in 8, maybe.
Yeah, hold on. I can go over this. So, preseason. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they were 1-7 to start the season out, right? So that means if you just take off, if you go past the 1-7 start, they're 17-18, which is a playoff team. The question is just whether they can like make up the difference, I guess. I don't know. I think they can because
I mean the immediate thought is any team that like is focused around Bradley Beal probably should make the playoffs relatively easy in the Eastern Conference.
Right.
I mean, he's just good enough to get that done.
Yeah, I think so.
But I mean, the only other thing you have to consider, like I already said, is just their locker room is just not amazing.
Right.
Their roster construction lacks somebody else to score. Like their best, not offensive player, but the best player that they have besides Beal, obviously the Wall's injured, who can make their own shot,
Mhm.
is Thomas Satoransky, which
can-
isn't, or Markieff Morris.
Markieff Morris kind of can, I guess.
Like he's good in the post.
he's
He's
okay.
big.
He can shoot
He
a
can,
little
no,
bit.
he's a good shooter. He's a good shooter. He's a good off-ball player.
Right.
And I mean, Otto Porter is one of the best off-ball shooters in the league.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But they just have no on-ball creation. I mean, Thomas Satoransky is their only other on-ball creator.
They do. They do have an interesting case in Otto Porter Jr. because I feel like Otto Porter Jr. has been kind of underrated this season. People think that he's been shooting terrible,
Hasn't. It's not true.
but he's not been. He's shooting 48% from the field and 38% from three.
Which is really good on good attempts, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, so they've got a lot of wing scoring. They've got Jeff Green, Trevor Ariza, and Otto Porter. The three of which,
I forgot about Trevor Ariza.
yeah, Trevor Ariza's on that team.
Mhm.
He's a winning player.
Mhm.
They've got three wings that can contribute to winning basketball.
Mm.
And I mean, look,
I'm all on for their wing depth. I love that.
right.
And they have the kid from Oregon, Troy Brown Jr.,
Troy Brown Jr., right?
who is good in summer league, and I think he's been playing a little bit. I might be wrong.
Like
I
7
might-
minutes a game.
Yeah, I might be wrong about that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I'm sure you could throw him in and he'd be okay.
Right.
But the only problem with this team is like big and point guard depth or on ball creation depth.
I honestly, Thomas Bryant has been. The reason they've been okay, though, is Thomas Bryant's been getting better.
He is atrocious defensively.
Yeah.
He is like probably the worst center I've ever seen defensively in the league.
Really?
Probably.
Wow, I actually did not know that.
He is disgusting.
So what is he?
I
Just can't move?
watched one game with it was against Indiana. I don't know if it was the game where he went off and had like 24 points. I don't think it was, but it was around that time. But I was watching, it was Wizards versus Pacers, and he just was so lost.
Really?
He just had no idea what was going on.
And
Like imagine Pau Gasol, but on any other team.
ooh.
Yeah, it was bad. It
That's
was
not
gross.
good. Yeah.
It was gross.
I mean, he's average. I mean, yeah. He has a physical build to be a good center. It just
Oh
needs
yeah,
to-
he's athletic as shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's just I guess he needs to figure out what
Yeah.
like positioning.
I mean, it's not even. It's just he just doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't know how to drop in coverage. He doesn't know how to defend a pick and roll properly.
Right. So that would be why he's only getting 20 minutes a game.
Exactly.
For sure. Or 18.
Do you want to get one thing done? One more.
Yeah.
Topic.
Wait. Quick. So who are the three teams you think are going to make it?
Oh. I'd go for the three teams that are in. Probably.
Miami, Brooklyn, and Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
I
I like Charlotte's wing depth a lot too, and they have a little bit more on ball creation.
yeah. No, I could see that. I don't think Brooklyn's going to make it. If I'm
You
being
don't think
honest.
Brooklyn's gonna make it?
I hope they do, just because I like the story. I don't think they're going to make it. I think it's going to be Miami, Washington, either Charlotte or Detroit.
I don't think Detroit's going to. I would be very surprised. They have no scoring besides Blake Griffin.
They don't. No, that's definitely true. I mean,
No offense besides him. I mean, it's just.
right. Drummond on offensive boards is a kind of a thing.
I mean, offensive boards, absolutely.
Yeah.
But offense is more than offensive boards. Like, you need somebody who
No,
can get the ball in the
definitely.
Like, if Andre Drummond could get the ball in the post and put some moves,
Which he's awful.
he's disgustingly bad. He's gross.
terrible at post scoring. Don't know why he still does. Don't know why he still does it.
I don't either.
But I'd say probably Charlotte, Washington, and Miami would be my three.
Mm-hmm.
That would because Charlotte's not a bad team.
They're very meh.
They're the most
They're
meh,
the most meh team in the league.
which is like pretty hard to do. But anyway, so I'm gonna go. So you're Miami, Brooklyn, Charlotte. I'm Miami, Washington, Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, what next? What do you want to do else?
Let me see the
Got you.
list of stuff.
The only other things we have on the list to talk about are two trades that
okay, yeah, we can
only
hit-
a basketball nerd would love.
Yeah, I mean, the Justin Holiday trade, he went to the Grizzlies for, it was the
Wayne
Brooks
Selden and
Brooks.
Marshawn Brooks.
and Marshawn. I mean, I think it makes perfect sense for the Grizzlies. I love it.
Yeah.
It gets them more shooting, which they desperately need.
Right.
I wouldn't have said yes to that trade if I was Chicago unless I was getting a pick.
Really?
I wouldn't because I don't care about Wayne Selden or Marshawn Brooks necessarily.
Wayne Selden's young.
Kind of.
Justin Holiday isn't. I mean,
I just would have wanted some tangible asset.
Wayne Selden's a tangible asset. You can't say that he's not.
Yeah, I know, but I feel like Justin Holiday was definitely worth a second.
Yeah, I feel like they really undervalued. I mean, he's a really good
know,
shooter,
yeah.
11 points a game. I guess he's not a great defender.
Whatever, who cares? Memphis is a good enough defensive team. I think he's going to be perfect on that team.
Oh yeah, me too. And they need something.
They do need something.
need
They have
something.
been dropping pretty quickly.
They definitely have. And Wayne Selden, like, he's actually been getting some run. He's been getting some run for the Bulls. He played.
I don't think Wayne Selden's bad. I like Wayne Selden. I think he's fine.
Yeah.
Like I think he's a okay bench player. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Exactly.
No problem with that.
He's been getting 20 minutes a game the past 2 games though.
Sure.
26, 21. He had 11 points. I mean, he's not great, but it's something, I guess. I don't know.
It is something. I mean, they knew that they weren't going to keep Justin Holiday after this year.
Obviously.
So, I mean, it just gets something.
Yeah.
At the very least. But as far as the Michael Carter-Williams trade goes, that's probably the worst trade in NBA history. It was Michael Carter-Williams and cash for a heavily protected pick. Second-round pick.
I've got a worse one. It was actually also the Chicago Bulls weirdly doing the same thing.
With who?
Weird. That's weird. The Warriors. Remember when they traded cash for Jordan Bell?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was Jordan Bell, yeah.
Yeah, that is
Like,
weird.
did they not learn to not do that? Like, you do not trade second-round picks for cash. You just don't do that.
Why do the Bulls do that? I just
don't
realized
know.
how much they do that.
I don't know. It just shows how incompetent that front office is.
Yeah.
And you
is
don't-
Garpax still there?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Do you want Michael Carter-Williams? He is statistically and known by many to be the literal worst player in the league. I fail to see any logic in this.
He legitimately cannot make a layup.
No.
He can't make a layup.
No, he can't.
He can't make a layup.
No, he can't.
He just can't make a layup.
No.
I mean, like, what else do you need to say about an NBA player? He
He's-
can't make a layup.
He's worthless. I mean, they tried to play him at forward or wing in
Yeah.
Houston.
But he couldn't make a layup, so that was kind of a problem.
He couldn't shoot. He can't. He's 6'6" and can't grab rebounds.
Yeah.
He's not a good passer,
Yep, and he can't make a layup.
and he can't make a layup. Well,
I'm kind of just stuck on that, man. Like, if you just can't do that, you shouldn't be in the league.
you're not an NBA player.
You should not even.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't get it. It's very strange.
I mean, if they want him, maybe he's just a great guy. You know, maybe Michael Carter Williams is just a stand-up character guy.
Maybe.
He's just a fantastic dude to be around in the locker room. That's all I can really think of, man. And then they waived him. It was basically for nothing.
So they literally did the same thing with Jordan Bell. It was a second-round pick for cash.
Yeah, except this one was just protected, so I guess it's a little better.
Okay, let's say they get it in 2024. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know.
You still don't trade picks for cash.
Yeah, it really does not make any sense,
I
man.
don't get it. All right.
I think that's it, though.
Yeah, I think that is too.
Especially because, other sports, Nick Foles is about to destroy the Saints' hopes
is
and
he?
dreams.
Is it about to start?
The Eagles have already scored a touchdown, actually.
Oh, well, okay, we got to go.
Yeah, we do.
All right. Thanks for listening, guys. Catch you later. See you guys.
See you guys.